give Bill some more love for that outstanding tone of love and energy that he set for us. Good morning. How are we this morning? Happy Sunday. I sure have missed y'all. I am Sunny Day, and I'm really grateful to be here. You know me, I can hardly contain myself. Okay, so let's sing. Yes, let's stand and sing In Love We Stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. Beautiful. You can be seated, but you'll still have a chance to sing, yeah? My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Oh Lord, my God, you are my strength. You carry me on your wings. You are in me, you know my heart, and my soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you, yeah. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. Your constant blessings flow to me like a mighty river to my heart. You are my life, you set me free, and I will love you forever and ever and ever and ever. My soul, it sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you, yeah, yeah. My soul sings out to you. to you. Just you guys, yeah? My soul sings out. Sings out. Yes. Sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
Thank you, Sunny. Oh, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend Nicole. I am the co-minister here, along with my beloved Reverend Michael Heinley. We are so grateful to have you all here with us this morning. We are a spiritual community who welcomes people from all paths of life, who recognizes ancient wisdom and modern science and the intermingling of these to represent and honor the mystical teachings of life, the universal spiritual truths. And so we recognize the oneness, the wholeness, and the goodness within life, and each and every one of us as unique expressions of that life. Does that sound good to you? Yes. Okay. If you're here for the first time and you'd like some information about our community, we have a really cute little gift bag for you if you just want to raise your hand. You don't have to stand up or anything. Right back there. And if you have any questions, you can come and talk to me after service or Reverend Michael about it. We have an amazing service in store for you this morning. We have the one and only Bill Wolf. We have our beloved Sunny Dayback, who we've missed so much. Yes. We have our amazing, newly assigned to Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living practitioner, Carol Ann Perini. We're so excited for her. And our message this morning, we're along the theme for this month, which is Faith Forward, is putting our faith in action. This morning, we're going to be looking at the different ways and areas of our life that we can start putting our faith into action. But first, we have some announcements to make. I'd like to invite up June Freeman to share the first announcement.
Good morning. This afternoon, we've got a free workshop for a love offering, and it's going to be on stress and anxiety. And how many of you don't have any stress and no anxiety about anything? So what we're going to be talking about is called the vagus nerve. And it's not going to Las Vegas and having the nerve to place that huge big bet on something you've always wanted to do. We're going to be talking about the vagus nerve and how modern science right now has recently discovered, however, the ancients knew it thousands of years ago. Basically, what they've done is science has found a way to stimulate the vagus nerve, and they have found that what it does is it causes well-being within the body. And so what we're going to discuss today is some techniques to where we don't need a stimulator. We can stimulate the vagus nerve ourselves. And so we're going to be talking about the vagus nerve and stress and anxiety and overall well-being. So hope to see you all there. Thank you. Thank you.
That sounds amazing. We're also continuing our food drive for the California State Long Beach Beach Pantry food drive. Now, you can bring in any of your non-perishable items up to 6 months expired, and we're going to do that August 12th, 19th, 26th, and September 2nd will be the last day. We've already got a bunch of stuff here. I can't wait to see what it looks like at the end of our time. Hopefully it's overflowing and we can't even get in the door, right? Right. This Wednesday evening, Reverend Michael and Reverend Juanita will be sharing the Wednesday night service, and it is called From Suffering to Faith. Join us as we roll up our sleeves and explore how we can use these powerful principles to empower ourselves. That sounds amazing. And all of the Wednesday night experiences are at 6:30 p.m. We also have a really great class coming up, if I can find it, that's called The Marvelous Mystical Multi-Forms of Meditation. And that starts Friday, August 17th. It's from 10 to 12 noon, and the fee is only $50. And that's with Anne-Marie Lovedahl. So that's going to be a really awesome class, I know that. And so now we get to participate in spiritual practice together. And so I want to invite you all to take a deep breath. Let's just take 2 or 3 deep breaths together. One more big deep breath. I invite us to just sit back in our seat, to relax, to recognize that maybe this is the one time of the week where we get to carve out special time for ourselves, time for contemplation, time for spiritual nourishment, time to uplift our spirits and our souls. And so I invite us to listen to the words of Carol Ann and the music of Bill Wolfe as we allow our spirit to be fed this morning.
Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit.
This morning's reading is a poem written by Jennifer Eckert Bernal called She Let Go. She let go without a thought or a word. She let go. She let go of the fear. She let go of the judgments. She let go of the confluence of opinions swarming around her head. She let go of the committees of indecision within her. She let go of the right reasons, wholly and completely, without hesitation or worry. She just let go. She didn't ask anyone for advice. She didn't read a book on how to let go. She didn't search the scriptures. She just let go. She let go of the memories that held her back. She let go of the anxiety that kept her from moving forward. She let go of the plannings and the calculations about how to do it just right. She didn't promise to let go. She didn't journal about it or write the projected date in her day timer. She made no public announcement. She didn't check the weather report or read her daily horoscope. She just let go. She didn't analyze whether she should let go. She didn't call her friends to discuss the matter. She didn't utter one word. She just let go. No one was around when it happened. There was no applause or congratulations. No one thanked her or praised her. No one noticed a thing. Like a leaf falling from a tree, She just let go. There was no effort. There was no struggle. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. It was what it was, and it is just that. In the space of letting go, she let it all be. A small smile came over her face. A light breeze blew through her, and the sun and moon shone forever. As you go into the silence this morning, what is it that you can let go of? It is so good to know that God is all there is. That God is in the heavens, and no matter the outward appearance in the world that we live in, everything is okay. God is expressing itself through, as, and in each and every one of us, right here, right now, and right now, and right now. I relax in that knowing, and I'm grateful to know that as God is beauty and grace, as God is freedom and wisdom, that I too and each of you are that same, that which God is. And I celebrate knowing that today Reverend Nicole will be sharing a message with us. For all of this and more, I am grateful, and together we say, and so it is.
Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, whoa, wonderful Spirit.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning again. Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Feels like I'm walking on marbles. Can't still the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling? I can feel my heart begin to pound. Everybody said something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. A long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. And if God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit, gently wake me from my sleep. 'Cause something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one to live in these blues. I surrender my life to you, oh Lord, oh Lord. I give my life to you. Oh, something's calling me. Ooh. Something's calling me. Faith is calling me. Compassion's calling me. Love is calling me. Peace is calling me. Even when I don't want to, it's calling me. Oh, love is calling me deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. God is calling me, and I'm grateful like I've never been before.
That was a very private experience for me. A couple years ago, Sunny sang that song here, and ever since then, I have it on my morning spiritual practice playlist. And so because I listen to that and go deeper every morning, I felt like, wow, they're all going there with me. It was such an amazing experience. Of course, it's all about me, right? No, but if I could feel the oneness of it all. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you. Gosh. So I want to share a story with you that I heard recently because I thought it was kind of funny. There are these two 90-year-old women, and they were best friends all their life, and they loved to play softball ever since they were young girls. And one was named as Betty, and the other one is Beatrice. And Beatrice was dying. And so Betty had been visiting her every day for like the past 3 weeks in the hospital. And so Betty said to Beatrice when she knew she was like not going to make it any longer, she said, Beatrice, if you could just do me one favor after you go, when you go to heaven, will you please somehow come back to me and let me know if they play softball there? And so Beatrice looks up to her and she says, Betty, you've been my best and oldest friend my entire life. If there's any way that I can let you know if we play softball in heaven, I will do it just for you. So then Beatrice passes away, and a few nights later, Betty is startled, awakened by somebody saying, Betty, it's me. Betty, it's me. And Betty said, who is it? Who's there? And she said, it's me, Beatrice. And she said, you can't be Beatrice. She's dead. She just died 2 days ago. She said, no, it's me, Betty. She goes, and I have some really great news, and I have some bad news. And so Betty says, okay, well, give me the good news first. And so Beatrice says, you will not believe it. There is softball in heaven. Even better, we're all young again. And even better than that, it's always sunny and we can play all day long. And Betty goes, okay, well, what's the bad news? And Beatrice says, well, you'll be pitching on Tuesday. So cute. I had to share that with you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So we're talking about faith in action today. So have you ever heard that saying, or have you ever told somebody this saying, you got to put up or shut up? Have you ever heard that? Have you ever told yourself that? Okay. So when I think about faith in action for myself, and like this week when I went within and thought, what inspires me? What is Spirit trying to say through this message? And it said, well, Nicole, how many times have I had to tell you, you got to put up or shut up? And so that's how my inner voice talks to me sometimes. I don't know how yours talks to you, but mine can be kind of stern. When I'm not living, when I'm not acting in accordance with my beliefs, with my faith, with what I know is true, when I'm sitting on the fence or I'm kind of in between, when I don't have faith in the good of life, when I don't have faith in the God, the divinity, the intelligence of life, then my inner higher wisdom self says, Nicole, you got to put up or shut up. So that's just the way it works with me. But I had a conversation with my daughter. I don't know if you guys know this, but the teens and the youth are always working on the same thing we are in their own way. So we're all on the same spiritual path together. Like they'll be talking about faith in action today, just like we are. And so I asked my daughter, we're at the Starbucks drive-thru, and I said, Haley, she's 15. I said, what does this mean to you, faith in action? What does that even mean to you? And she goes, well, it's like when I go with Leona and help feed the homeless, or when I do something nice for one of my friends, or when I'm kind to somebody. I said, okay, that's good. That's faith in action. But what about, because she was just about to take her driving permit test, and we just registered her for her sophomore year of high school. I said, so I'm trying to get a little lesson in here, right? I said, what about all the worrying you're doing about passing your test? And what about you being so concerned and consumed with worrying about not knowing what college you want to go to or what career path you're going to take? I said, so what is it that you really believe? You know, because I don't ever force my kids to believe what I believe. I give them an opportunity to learn spiritual truths and then what resonates with them, because I think we're always evolving, right? So she goes, well, I believe in a power for good. And I believe that there's a God wisdom inside of me and that we're all created from it. And I believe most people are good. And I believe that, life is for us. And so I said, oh, so how do you put that into action, into your worry and your career and your college choice? I said, are you kind of keeping the two separate? And she goes, oh, it just dawned on her. She's like, oh, I have this belief and I believe it, but I don't actually put it into action to keep myself from worrying and being frustrated and concerned about things. And then the cutest thing she said, she goes, you got to tell this to everybody on Sunday. She's like, it's easy for me to forget this. Maybe it's easy for other people too, so tell them that. And I'm like, okay. It was so cute. And so I just think, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we are or are not putting our faith, whatever it is that we believe, into action. So last week I asked you to raise your hand if you believed in a power greater than you are, a power for good in the universe, and many of us raised our hands. And the week before, we talked about what our global vision was, what our declaration of principles are. We talked about all kinds of universal spiritual truths, like oneness, like the fact that there is a God substance that we are all creations from, that there is an intelligence that we are all coming from that's within us. We talked about the creative nature of life, how God thinks, how the divine mind thinks and the world comes into being. And in the same way, we reflect that because what our thoughts are come into being in our lives, right? That's how we create our lives, is by having the same thoughts over and over again. And so there's also other spiritual principles or universal truths like abundance. Did you know that there's actually enough for all of us? Ever since the beginning of time of life on earth, there's always been enough to keep that life going. And yet it could be misconstrued or not separated or rationed out properly right now, but there is always enough for all of us. We all inherited the divine kingdom of God because we all have the opportunity to create. And my favorite universal spiritual truth is the eternal now. That this moment that is right here and right now is the only moment that ever is or ever will be. And so in that, there is no divine resentment. There is no divine unforgiveness. There's no holding grudges. There's none of that in the eternal now. And my beloved fiance and I we got to practice this, right? What good are spiritual principles if you're not putting them into action, right? So this morning, after we leave here, we are on our way to Las Vegas, and I'm meeting my birth father for the first time ever. Okay, so everybody but me and my family waited till this morning to pack. And so I was inside, I'm like, rah, 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 I'm getting a little resentful and irritated, and I'm like, God, you guys don't support me, And then it dawned on me like, oh yeah, the eternal now. There is no resentment, there's no need for forgiveness in the eternal now. And so I had the opportunity to put my money where my mouth was and let it go. And know that I'm loved. Even if I don't feel loved by humans sometimes, I'm loved by the divine. Which I do feel loved, I'm just saying. I'm just using you as an example. That's what you get for being here, right? So, So what this reminds me is that we can read as many books as we want to, and we can listen to as many sermons or inspirational messages or TED Talks or what else do we do? Retreats. I mean, come on. There's so many things that we go to learn and absorb all this delicious knowledge and information and spiritual right? But there comes a point when we gotta throw the book to the side. Just set the book down. Set down, turn off the talk and just be it. Live it. Put what you say you believe in action and show up in that way. If you say you believe in good, believe that there's good in everyone. If you say you believe in oneness, no matter if the person who you're sitting next to is a jerk, you have to know that the same amount of God that's in you is in them. Right? If we say we believe that there is a power greater than ourselves that loves us and supports us and nurtures us, then why do we worry so much? We don't have to. We can. Lord knows I have, and many, many times, and have to be reminded, oh yeah, the universe has got my back. I forgot. And that's okay. We get to forget, and we get to be reminded over and over and over again. And every moment is a new opportunity to remember that we have beautiful understandings. We are so lucky to be here and to know what we know. We are so lucky to know that we have self-responsibility and self-control and a divine God that is everywhere present and available for us. We are truly blessed in that. And I want to share with you something that, a little story that I was reading about Gandhi. And so the story is told that Mahatma Gandhi once settled into a village, and at once he began to serve the needs of the villagers who lived there. And a friend inquired if Gandhi's objectives in serving the poor were purely humanitarian. What do you think? Were they purely humanitarian? Okay, just think about it. Gandhi replied, "Not at all. I am here to serve no one else but myself, to find my own self-realization through the service of these village folks." As Gandhi wisely pointed out, even as we serve others, we are working on ourselves. Every act, every word, every gesture of genuine compassion naturally nourishes our own hearts as well as others. It is not a question of who is healed first. When we attend to ourselves with compassion and mercy, more healing is made available for others. And when we serve others with an open and generous heart, great healing comes to us. This reminds me of the 12-step programs. I don't know if any of you are familiar with like the anonymous groups like AA or NA or OA, but there's this thing. Once you have a certain amount of recovery under your belt, once you have a certain amount of sobriety or whatever it is, then you are highly encouraged and urged to mentor someone, to sponsor someone else who doesn't have what you have yet but wants what you have. And this is an agreed upon a relationship between two people. And the amazing thing is it absolutely not only serves the person who is needing the support, but it heals and nourishes and supports the one who is serving them. And I think it would be really cool. I know that many of us here aren't a part of any 12-step program, but I think it would be really amazing if we took on this practice that they have. If we realized that it was okay to share with someone the faith that we have in something, the positivity that we have about life. I think it's okay when we're having a conversation with our best friend and they're being really negative for us to not get sucked into it, but for us to pull them out of it. I think it's really okay and necessary for us to stand up in our faith and remind the people around us and nurture the people around us into their own hope or security or love or kindness. This is putting faith in action. It can happen in so many different ways, but it could be as easy as us believing that we're going to be okay. It could be as easy as us actually showing love and compassion to someone who's been totally driving us crazy. On your program, there's a place called Notes. Let me see if I can find it. So it looks like this, and at the bottom there's a thought. And I want to read to you this thought. It says, faith in action is love, and love in action is service. By transforming that faith into living acts of love, we put ourselves in contact with God. By Mother Teresa. I think she's one of the greatest examples of putting our faith into action, of putting her faith into action. And yet one of the most interesting things in studying Mother Teresa is, did you know that she had like the strangest relationship with God? She literally felt like she wasn't loved by God, like she wasn't worthy, like God had abandoned her. And she struggled with this her entire life. And that's why she served humanity so deeply and so truly, was because she felt like that was how she could build a relationship with a God of her understanding. And so what I wish, I know that her and I probably have very different ideas of what God is, but what I wish I could say to her is that by serving humanity, you are serving God. That is God in life, in form. But I'm sure she probably already knows that by now in her own way. And I want to leave you with like a send-off, with something to really urge you forward, to step up in your life, in your own way, to figure out what it is you really do believe, and then start acting like it, start living it. And so this is a poem it's from the Tibetan Book of the Living and Dying. And it says, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, a boat, a bridge, a passage, for those desiring the further shores. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine. And may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world, until everyone is healed. Just like space and the great elements, such as earth, may I always support life of all the boundless creatures. And until they pass away, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach unto the end of space. And so it is. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Reverend Nicole. It rolls off very easily. It's lovely to call you Reverend Nicole. I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet, to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I'd swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly so that you would understand that love and only love can heal the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first thing is to realize it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? When we stand together, well, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, anything. Keep believing in the power. Between your heart and mine, love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Oh, it's time. I do believe it's time.
I told Bill earlier between services that Sunny is his stage wife. I said, she's your music wife. You're her music husband. I love it. They do so well together. So in our program, we have an offering blessing, and so I want to invite us to take our offering, whatever we desire to share with this community, knowing that it lives and thrives because we give to it. And I invite you to take your offering and place it on your heart, recognizing the heart symbolizes the ever-flowing life consciousness, the circulation of what we give, we receive. And when it comes out, it goes back. And so I invite us to recite together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous. Thank you, God.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Juanita Gardner, and I'm honored and privileged to serve as one of the practitioners here at the center. I'd like to invite all the practitioners and ministers in the room to stand. These are people who are willing to pray with you. If you have something on your heart that you would like prayer for, we'll be lined up along the window there, and throughout the church you can ask any of us to pray with you. And at the end of the service, we take the prayer requests back into the room, the ones that are written, and we pray as well over those prayers, and we'll send out prayers for the week. Mother, Father, God, Holy Spirit within me, come forth into expression as all that I am and cause me to see only love, only good, only God. And it is from this awareness that I speak this word of oneness, knowing that right where we are, God is all there is. In every situation, in every circumstance, God and only God. And in times like these, how grateful I am to have this belief system, to act and speak and trust that God is all there is. And because this is so, because God is with me, in me, through me, and as me, I know that it is here now expressing in each and every one that comes to mind in any way. And because this is so, I know we leave this place walking in the grace of God, the peace of God, the wisdom that flows through us, influences all with whom we come in contact. For indeed, we're blessed and we're a blessing. And so it is with a grateful and thankful heart that I release this word into the law, knowing that it is so. It is all good. It is all God now. And so it is.
So it is. Yes. Thank you, Reverend Juanita. That was powerful. Let's bring in the kids and the teens.
Good morning. First of all, I just want to explain that there's like 7 of us missing. The high school and the junior high are working on a workshop that is pretty deep, actually. So they asked if they could be excused and stay and finish that. So they're doing that. And we, this morning, wrapped up our month talking about faith. And Lily is going to help me out with some of the definitions. Lily, can you tell us what faith is?
Never give up.
It is never giving up. What else is it? The word
we believe in things we can't see.
For sure. And we also talked about, so we connected having faith in ourselves and how we're all connected. And we talked about the human race this morning, and we read this really great book by Jamie Lee Curtis about the human race, and we enjoyed that very much. And we had to figure out what the human race is. What is it, Lilia?
Everybody in the whole entire world.
In the whole entire world. And we talked about all the ways that we're the same and all the ways that we are different, didn't we? And what happens if all of us in the entire world don't help each other?
We might crash into stuff.
Yeah. We might crash. It'd be terrible, right? So what can we do so we don't crash?
We can help each other and love each other.
We can do that. And we made medals, our own human race medals, to remind us of our connection to each other. We didn't all finish them, so instead of staying, we're going to go back. We're also celebrating Miles' belated birthday, so we have some cupcakes. And I just have one announcement to remind everybody that next Sunday is the Passageways ceremony. It'll only be at the 11 o'clock service. And the entire youth group is involved, and it's really just a sacred, special ceremony that we have to empower and acknowledge all of our youth going into their new school year. And we've got some surprises, so I just would encourage and invite everybody to come. It's really a special day for us.
And you're all involved, so you better be here.
Yes, the congregation is involved too.
Yeah, we have a special thing for them. Just wait, you'll see.
And that's it from us. Thank you.
Okay. Got it. Okay, I want to invite everyone to stand and take a hand. Huh? Oh. And repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in all that I do.
Life is in all that I do.
I give thanks for it.
I give thanks for
And
it.
I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that
And
it is.
just the way that it is not.
Just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.